Everyone says that we look alike, and I think she's beautiful, so if I look like her, then yeah, I get the same features, so I feel beautiful.
Beauty is so much deeper than this shell. It's like a sparkle in the eye. It's athleticism. I think that's really beautiful. Intelligence, self-confidence, shyness. So many of the different personalities.
Tell me something that's classic about us that you think that men should know.
We're fighters. Black women are fighters. We're defenders.
We're fighters and defenders.
Yeah, we defend our own and we protect our own, even if the loyalty isn't there. I didn't learn a classic about myself until I was by myself. I always thought that I had to have a partner to be validated, but it wasn't until I separated myself and just became an individual, a man, to feel validated. That was my classic moment. I spent 2 years with me. No intimacy, no dating, just me and God, getting intimate, and that was classic for me.
My skin is yellow, and my hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong.
Well, I come from a very strong tribe. And when I say tribe, my family, my original tribe, my grandmother, my aunts. I had 8 aunts and or 8 aunties, and my mom, and my grandmother was a sharecropper from Aberdeen, Mississippi.
Wow.
And so, you know, she migrated to Kansas City, Kansas, which is where I'm from. Go Royals. And they made it happen. When the men were not stepping up, they got jobs, they provided for the family, and they didn't wait on anybody to tell them, you know, what they needed to do. They're survivors.
Tell me when you first realized something that was you.
When I had my first child, I guess it was a summer day. I must have been about 12.
Okay.
And we were actually at a amusement park in Rockland, Queens. And it was, I guess, the first time my mother told me, you're late. Because I'm a young mother, there was no classic behind it. It was all fear. But the beauty came with the results. I didn't quite understand it, but I just always had a touch of what beauty could be because of that child. Never had a full understanding of beauty. No. But because God is related to things like beauty and God, you just relate anything good to beauty and God.
I was actually on the train the other day, and I met this guy who was crying, an older guy.
Okay.
And he sat next to me, and he was like, I miss my cat. And of course, me being who I am, I got like into this conversation with him. And somehow a conversation about his cat and like this stray cat that he picked up turned into him telling me like about his like life philosophy. And he told me that we're on this earth for 3 reasons. And he said the first reason is to hear a child's laughter. And he was like, it's our, like, children are born innocent. He was like, it's our duty to keep them that way and loving.
Children are beautiful.
Children, you're a teacher, aren't you?
I'm a teacher. I teach special ed.
What's that like?
It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. But when I'm at work, I'm the best version of myself.
And he said the second thing is to spread art. And he was like, you learn through like art, and like it teaches you to like think differently.
So we were in Far Rockaway, and it was in a white area, and I was told I couldn't come somewhere, couldn't go somewhere in that park, and it was because I looked different.
He said the third responsibility is to take care of our environment and our animals because they can't take care of themselves.
A children's lab to spread art and to take care of animals and environment.
Nature. Yeah.
That's simple and legit.
It was just the fact that of course you, as a young child, you don't understand the difference between black and white, diversity as far as the pull and the tug. And I didn't think it had anything to do with me being black. I thought I just wasn't allowed in that area. So my mother, of course, seen past that, and she brought me into that area. And she said, there is no place you can't be.
Wow.
You're unlimited.
Now what's classes to me is friends.
Friends. Tell me why.
Well, I want friends like me.
Okay.
And when I say friends like me, I want people that have the same visions that I have and the same likes that I have so that I can grow.
I'm gonna have to say, growing up in Brooklyn, I grew up in a church, Pentecostal church, and Sundays were like my favorite. It was my favorite day of the week.
The relationships that you have around you, they build you. You are who you surround yourself with. And I want good people to surround myself with who are like me and understand where I come from and understand the diversity, so it's not like my mind is trapped.
Seeing how it made everyone happy and seeing all my favorite people and all of my grandmother's favorite people, and then they would come up to dinner afterwards and all the older women, they would just sit around the table and drink tea and they would eat dinner, and it was just, I'm young so I wouldn't sit at the table with them, but I just love that image.
What's beautiful to me is my mother.
Word, okay, so tell me why your mother is beautiful to you.
She's a strong, hard-working woman.
The first time I heard something classic was Mary J. Blige, I'm Going Down. And I remember
I was in high school.
Being on Stuyvesant Avenue where I used to live in Newark. And I'm just walking down the street, touching the bushes. I'm going down, I'm going down, 'cause you ain't around. And that was a classic moment. That was when I first had this desire, like this is classic. I have to make history.
So tell me what's beautiful and classic about New Jersey for you?
What's beautiful and classic about New Jersey for me is that we often have to define ourselves when we go other places. People automatically attach us to New York, but then they look and they say, hey, you're not a New Yorker. No, I'm not. So we have like a twist on that swag, and I like that.
Tell me what's classic about Brooklyn.
Classic Brooklyn. I see graffiti on the walls, bodegas, brownstones. Classic brownstone. Oh, and brownstone was a great group too, girl. They were popping.
Yes. Yes.
Block parties. I could go on.
Were there block parties in Brooklyn?
Yes.
We have a lot of block parties here in Jersey.
The style, the food, different types of people.
The beaches.
The beaches.
Things that annoy you, but when you're not home, you miss them.
Like the corner store, that's kind of...
Corner store.
Yo.
Dirty chicken shack.
Yes.
The noise.
Where are you from?
I was born in Ethiopia, but I live in Jersey.
Oh, when did you move to New Jersey?
When I was 6.
Oh my gosh. Do you have any classic memories from Ethiopia?
I remember my backyard. There's a lot of things I don't remember, but I remember my backyard. In my backyard, there used to be this huge lake. And then across the lake was this other house. I remember that I used to always play with the kids there. We used to always play around the lake. So that's like one of my
childhood.
Yeah.
Classic art. I feel like classic art is art that just, no matter the time, it is, and it will last forever.
What's classic about art? That's a big question. I've been painting since I've been a little girl. I would say that what's classic about art is it's everywhere. Everyone speaks it. It's like a smile. You can understand it in any language.
Do you listen to a lot of music?
I do.
What do you listen to?
Honestly, and don't judge me, I listen to like a lot of trap music. No,
I'm not judging you. I'm not
puts
judging
me in a
you.
good mood.
What kind of trap?
I mean, like, I listen to, like, on my way here, I was actually listening to, like, Rich Homie Quan and, like, On the Train and Bob in My Head.
What's classic about music is being able to embrace different types of genre of music. And especially, I like listening to more compa, Haitian music.
Okay.
Because it's like different sounds and it just makes you feel good.
Essentially, my definition of me didn't match the definition that society had bestowed upon me. And so who wins? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. The question of who defines you, society or yourself. Now, is society's opinion of who you are, who you can be, what value you have, you know, what you can achieve in life, is that more powerful an opinion, an important opinion than your own?
So tell me something that's kind of classic about you.
One of the things I would say is maybe my sense of humor. I think a lot of people take me much more serious than I really people don't necessarily like know how like fun and like how much I like.
Hold on, don't say funny and then you're not gonna be able to do something funny.
Oh no, don't do that.
I would say with my ties to my family. I'm very family oriented, and I think that's something that Black women have in common.
Your appearance. What's classic about your look?
It's natural.
It's natural?
It's natural. I don't know how our minds became conditioned to believe that we needed additions to make us beautiful, but I'm natural. And my braids aren't, but my hair is natural, my look is natural. I don't do too much to add on to my beauty. And because of the world and the way that they view us, we believe we need eyelashes, extensions, makeup, and other things, but we came here natural. And if we would have remained natural, then we lost sight of what's classic, what's natural, you know? Because we're so extra. And you know, the world won't know who we are because we undress at home.
Right.
We dress up so much to come out.
Can we say that one more time?
The world won't know who we are because we undress at home.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Orange. Wait, no, I said it wrong.
I mean, I think we carry our families on our backs, and even though we don't get sometimes the respect or the reciprocity that comes with it, it's something that I feel like is natural and intrinsic to being a Black woman. We were the first women, so that essence still is within us.
And I have this idea that since we can all dream a far bigger dream for ourselves than society could ever indicate for any of us, what would happen if we all decided that we were going to actively define ourselves and allow that definition to govern everything over and above anything that society could define or indicate for any of us? How would that influence our lives?
Sort of like outside of like a time period, I think what inspires me is like the person that I'm working with.
Okay, that's
I like
dope.
to, like a lot of people come and look for styles because some of the times they're insecure, don't have that much confidence in the way like they put things together themselves. And I feel like getting to know someone and then honing in on like how they see themselves, how they want people to see them, and then helping them like build the confidence is kind of what's classic about that.
So, you grew up in Queens?
Yeah, from Rockaway, Queens. I also worked there as a police officer too.
Oh, check you out. You're a police officer.
I'm an ex-police officer.
Ex-police officer. Yeah. What's classic about serving your community?
Just the fact that the inside is nothing of what you could imagine in that place of that business, you know? So the fact that coming out into the community and breaking down the boundaries of us against them is strong.
It's interesting because you first start off by saying that your mother's told you that you were a lady and you're a police officer. And it's interesting how the kind of dichotomy between being a lady and being law enforcement.
Right.
So like, how is it being a Black woman, a Black woman in the law enforcement?
It's challenging. It's definitely it has a lot of rewards as well as back kicks on negative things, of course. So the fact that we are working together, when you work together within yourself to be this image in which someone else defines you to be, is when you start destroying yourself. Being true to yourself, who you really are, is where you begin to grow. And in that aspect, the NYPD can be a good foundation for you and a good platform, but they can also take away what you've been governed and born with.
Give me a classic singer.
Definitely, who can I say? I mean, I love mine. I mean, it's not classic, it's a little more current, but it just goes without saying that that's definitely a part of what makes me who I am and what inspires me. Going a little bit further back, Sarah Vaughan's and Nina Simone's. Nina Simone actually has this song that I love singing, and it just tells about the 4 different types of Black women, how they go forth in society and the different lives that they live. So it talks about black one, a brown skin one, a fair skin one, and a light skin one, and it just basically tells their different stories. And that song is pretty classic. It's classic and beautiful.
It is very classic.
Yeah. My skin is black, my arms are thorn, my hair is woolly, yeah. My back is strong enough to take the pain, afflicted again and again. What do they call me? Classic.
Tell me about what you love about being a young black woman.
I mean, I think there's more to love as I grow older. I think at first I didn't even realize it. I was like, cool, great, living life. But I've been blessed with this cool heritage, and I have my family, like my mother, black don't crack, so I'm fortunate to at least like have half of that, because my grandmother does not look a day over 20 something.
Oh my God.
Pretty ridiculous.
Wow. Now those are